Probably it shouldn't go to our nutritionist. Huh? I hope that recorded. Roubaix always leaves this little space for a fairy tale, for an unsung hero, for a guy who surprises. Paris-Roubaix is a race one of a kind, and you cannot compare it with anything else. The thing is now, especially being a classic rider like me, it's the most busy time of the whole year. You had the first races of the season, now the first major races like with Paris-Nice, and the time at home is also now super tight, super intense, because you want to stay focused, but you still want to have some family and quality time. Pair of glasses, still dirty from the last stage in Paris. As you can see, we're just moving. Everything needs to be bulletproof for the kids. There's the playground. I mean, they have a little paradise here, because there they can go for gas and do their exercises. We still need to get the sinks and everything ready, that we have our bathroom. Slowly but surely we are moving in, but like it's always with such situations that everything is postponing a little bit. So in theory we were dreaming of being here already for Christmas, but now we're already mid-March. But it's also like, here we see something, there we see something. My wife, she also studied interior design, so she keeps coming up with new ideas, so I think it's a never-ending story. Now the experts need to tell me if they are happy with this extraction or not. And then there's always like, they're discussing if we need to have 25 seconds or 30 seconds running through, and I cannot decide. This is why I stop it at 27. No? Okay, I give myself a 3 out of 10 for this. That's good enough now. I think we call it Marillenfleck. Fleck. It's just a, it's a slang, you know, just a splash. Like, it's not even a proper shape, it's just there. Put some Marille on top, because Marille is what we call the apricot. And as I said, finger food. Probably it shouldn't go to our nutritionist. Yeah, we are now already above 1,000 meters, and it gets a bit chilly this time of the year. Maybe you can see around just a little bit higher, and we would have snow already. It's still one of the favorite climbs for me to come up here, because like usually there is not a lot of traffic. You have 4 or 5 different ways to climb up here, and if you want to do a few intervals to just stay sharp, for me it's the best place around here. And views are not too bad, but I mean it's hard to impress Swiss guys with mountains, but the good thing is we can still appreciate it. So do I, at least. The terrain to Belgium is actually completely different, but the good thing is you just need to make sure you get into good fitness, and then the Belgium terrain will also suit you. It's hard to train, so what I like to do is, the classics, obviously the characteristics is you have many of the short hills, so you need to have high intensity for a short amount of time, but for multiple times. So one training, for example, I like to do a lot regarding this is like 30-30s, means that 30 seconds you almost go maximum, and then you give yourself 30 seconds to recover again. This characterizes also the type of the Belgian classics, Flemish classics a lot, because you just constantly need to push again and recover as quick as possible, and then push again. Or if you take Paris-Roubaix, you have 52 of those sectors that they just keep coming on you. There's not a lot of time to recover in between, so you need to learn the body to adapt very quick, and have a certain amount of stamina to be ready. I'm curious now if I can even hit the ball still. For me, it's super important that during all the stress we're having, especially with the spring classics, you can like distract yourself a little bit from all this rush, and golf is just the best I can do. Even if it's just going to the driving range, hit a few balls, take a lesson, put your mind somewhere else, and I think is really needed, because a clear head is already the perfect step to some good results on the bike. 6 iron. Yeah. My caddy. Hey, I hope that recorded. These races also, they need so much experience. I mean, we have now unfortunately sidelined with Stefan, but Matteo, we have such a good roster going into these classics, and I hope we can surprise this year. 1 iron too little, like should have been an 8 iron.
8 iron would have been in the trees.
Especially the cobbled classics, the spring classics, they are very close to the heart of the team, obviously of the due to the background that Fabian is having. So I think to perform there very well would be super cool for us. They are one of my favorite races. They are one of the favorite races of the teams. And yeah, I can't wait to be out there with the boys and rock the cobbles. But we don't tell them that this is the easiest hole on the course.
Pull that.
That's not on camera.
That's where he leaves his shots.
You see, you need the same amount of shots for fucking 2 meters than you need for 200 meters.
Yeah. And then now you know why he gets frustrated on the golf course.
Ah!
Genau. Das ist so the first professional photo shooting. Ist erinnern.
Also, when you look at those pictures, you would say, why the bloody hell you're making photos like this? But it's 20 years ago. Even cyclocross I tried for a little bit, but you can tell it didn't work out so well. That's it.
Yeah, this is the Peter Sagan.
Yeah, we have Sagan winning the yellow jersey and myself the green. And here I won the last stage, and Sagan was second.
Which race was that?
That was actually
The Slovenian.
exactly, yeah, in Slovenia.
Tour of Slovenia for the kids.
Indeed. Exhausted already there. My dad probably playing the first physio and loosen up the muscles a little bit. I need to be honest now. No, we got some help for preparation. Some grilled meat, some veggies, some rice. I think it's pretty straightforward. Normally, I would always say my strength is the Italian cuisine. I'm a big fan of risotto, so I would have actually loved to make some risotto now. But since we had a quite busy day already, I'm glad I get a little bit of help. Magst du was essen? Komm mit mir, dann schauen wir uns einmal an, was du magst.
Geh den Papi mit.
Nur Reis.
Nur Reis. Bisschen Gemüse. He insists that before we eat, we need to give us the hands. And then he says, bon appetit in 4 languages.
Josephine, du?
Okay, ich will was
It's kind of
Schüchtern. Jetzt bist du schüchtern, gell? Willst du den Daumen halten? Was rufst du, wenn sie fahren?
Papa!
Und fürs Team?
Sieger!
Sieger! It's different to see the classics. The classics, it's like, this is also something that starts at home already. He gets nervous when January ends, you know. Everything changes in this time.
I guarantee you, there will be the moment you will suffer or have a puncture or whatever, you have a challenge and you are doubting if it's kind of still worth it. And then, I have done it a couple of times now, you come to the finish line and then you say, how the fuck did he manage to finish 8th? Because he was there hanging with me. And Roubaix is actually the race where this can happen. And I can only say, try to avoid this feeling, because this will haunt you for the next week if you one time give up and not chase. And it will haunt you every time you come back here. And you will remember.
His total mindset is different in this stage.
Marco Malheur, l'un des coureurs les plus expérimentés du peloton. Merci beaucoup l'équipe Tudor. La formation qui s'est imposée dans
Well, actually, I'm sitting here because it was about time to tell a fairy tale story of Paris-Roubaix. I had the privilege of the media team following me through my preparation and getting everything ready for one of the greatest races professional cycling is having. But unfortunately, the hell of the north hit me in the hardest way possible. I mean, lucky enough I did not crash, but obviously I had a puncture in a very bad moment, and if you then don't have the legs like for example Mathieu van der Poel is having, it's not a lot you can do. I kept being unlucky of getting spare material in time, so I completely lost focus, morale and commitment, and ultimately decided to give up the race. Always a very hard moment and hard decision, but ultimately my personal dream just disappeared, and disappointment is still super big. Nothing else I can say about it, and I would have really loved to tell you a little fairy tale now or whatsoever, but professional cycling is incredibly hard, super quick, and if you're not on 110%, you're nowhere near being competitive, and when the luck is not on your side either, it's just not
a thing to be. And yeah, as you can see, I'm struggling to find words, and there's really not a lot I can say about it. But there is one thing I would say is quite sure. This definitely shouldn't be my last Paris-Roubaix, and it's 1-0 for Paris-Roubaix, but let's make it 1-1 the next year or something like that. Yeah, anyway, life is not a pony farm.